Welcome, everyone, to this week's podcast. You're listening to One and a Half Asians. I am Wu Yi. I'm joined, as always, by Cody Goodale.
Hello, everyone. Well, basically, they just eat on camera.
Yeah. I am now familiar with what you're saying.
And I watched a few. There's one cool guy. He's like an Asian guy. He makes what he's going to eat. Like, he'll do, like, authentic Thai food, and then he'll make, like, a popular Thai dish. And then...
And then what?
Like, he'll just, like, the camera will be, like, in a bowl. He's like, all right, you're going to add, like, a pinch of whatever, a tablespoon of this, a tablespoon of that. And then it shows him cooking everything. And then after, it shows him, like, eating it all.
And then does he talk about it? Or talk
Yeah.
about things?
Yeah, he just talks about what it tastes like or what would go good with it. Or, like, oh, you guys need to really try this. I think we can do it.
I really like that concept. Cook and then eat and talk.
Yeah, he eats a lot of stuff. And then he'll be like, the best way to eat Popeye's chicken or something. And then he'll go get Popeye's chicken and sit in his car. And then he'll eat his Popeye's chicken in the car. I think it's fun. And he did a challenge, like their spicy noodle challenge, like the Korean spicy noodle.
Well, let's do a challenge.
And it's like really spicy. Like the people who have done it on YouTube are like crying and like are about to die. But this guy, like, that's off of like eating like one package. This guy eats like 5. And he's like, oh, it's really spicy, but I like it. And then his lips are like all like
Poofy?
swollen.
Yeah.
And he's like, I like it. Then like he eats all of it, and then after he goes to get ice cream. And he's like, when I have spicy food, the best thing to get after is ice cream. And he makes everything look so good.
Well, were you high when you watched these?
No.
Imagine if you were.
Yeah. Which I still have like a lot of the
Yeah.
THC liquid that I don't
How
know.
much is a lot?
Well, they come in like. Do you know anything about vaping? Or
Yeah.
Like, have you vaped at all?
No.
No, I haven't really a lot, but like I bought a little vaporizer. It was a really crappy one, and a tank is like 2 milliliters, and it'll last. I don't know, like 200 puffs or something. It's quite a bit.
Yeah,
like,
you've got like a year's supply.
And the marijuana, like the THC that I bought, is 4 milliliters.
Oh, geez.
So it's quite a bit. Like I spent a lot of money. Like I spent $150 on THC liquid, which I didn't even smoke. Like I don't even smoke marijuana.
Yeah.
So it was pretty strong.
Yeah. It sounds to me like you went about this the wrong way.
I did. Yeah, I did. Like, well, the first day. Well, here's the problem because I don't smoke marijuana. I don't know what it feels like. Well, I might have. Like there's times that I've taken it and we like laughed like crazy. But
Yeah.
I don't even know if I was high because we were doing funny stuff. Right? Like we were like, what were we doing even? Maybe I was high because I was laughing. I don't even remember what I was laughing about.
Sounds to me like you were high.
Okay, yeah.
It sounds to me like a very high
The first
story.
time I took it, I took like 2 long drags of this vape
Yeah.
device that I had, and I felt okay. I didn't feel that bad, but then I was also sitting the whole time
Yep.
at the store actually. Like I was just, and I didn't feel anything. So later that night, I did like 5 puffs.
Oh, geez.
Then I felt fine, so I did 2 more. So I did like 7 in total that night.
once, yeah.
And then I knew I was really high.
Yeah.
Like I was freaking out. I was paranoid. And
Man, that's not a good high, Woo.
no, because like I told you, I went to go. It was around like bedtime, so I went to
Yeah.
go to bed, and then I got up to go pee, and then I was in the washroom for a very long time. Like I was like wondering, like what did I come here to do? And then after I finished peeing, I'm like, what did I just do? And then I looked back at the door. I'm like, why is the door wide open? And then I stayed there and like stared at the door for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I went back to bed. And then Esther was like, is everything okay? And she didn't know.
You
that-
didn't? Did
No, I
she
didn't
know
tell
that
her.
you had?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Okay.
She knew I had, but she like it was more. I just told her more. It's for like relaxing. Like if I feel stressed, so you can take one. It's like CBD oil.
Yeah.
I've taken CBD oil before.
Yeah? Where did you get that?
My older brother,
Yeah?
he got some from this shop in Toronto,
Toronto.
and he let me try like a CBD pen,
Yep.
like like an actual like medical one that they sell. He bought it for like $40.
Yep.
And I liked it. Like every time I ran, like I would, when like your lungs would feel kind of inflamed, and I would
Yep.
take it, and I felt good the next day.
Yep.
So she knew it was like kind of like that, but with THC.
Yeah.
And she didn't know I was high though. I was just like,
You're just acting
no,
really
she's
weird.
like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then I had water in my room. I'm like two-handing like my water, like trying to drink it. And then I got in bed and I was super paranoid that like for some reason I would get caught. So I was trying to fall asleep, but I kept forgetting that I was trying to sleep, like forgetting like why I'm in the bedroom.
Yep.
It was a super weird, scary experience. And I was texting my brother at the same time, saying like, because I gave him some, and I texted him saying like, be careful, don't take too many puffs. It's your first time. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I think I'm really high right now, and I think like I'm really like scared.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, what's going on? And then I didn't write him back the whole night. And then
just left him on a
yeah,
cliffhanger?
Yeah, and then he was thinking like something happened to me. So he
Yeah.
kept writing me. He's like, what's going on? What's going on? Are you in trouble? And then I didn't write him back till the next morning. He's like, don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
So I fell asleep. It was the best sleep I've ever had.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I slept all night. I don't even know how I fell asleep, but then
Just the best sleep.
the second time I got high was with Ricky. He was driving me around. I don't know what it was because I drank beer before.
Yeah. That's definitely a bad combo.
I drank like more than a pint of beer. Like it was like 2 beers. And then we got in his car and Ricky was like, "Do you want some?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever, sure." And then we drove around. And then halfway, like 20 minutes in, I'm like, "You might have to drive me around a little bit longer. I don't think I can go home."
Yeah.
And then he drove around for like 2 hours, and I was still high.
Yeah, that's usually how it works.
Esther doesn't know about that either. But I feel like I'm like confessing a lot of things on these podcasts.
The power of the microphone, Lou.
It's gonna be legal soon.
Yeah, I think there's countdowns, right? Like, really soon.
Yeah, next month.
Yeah.
So
50
it's not
something
a big-
days.
It's not a huge deal. Which I'm actually glad I've had these experiences because then I can at least know something about it. And that's kind of like the dilemma that I've kind of, because I told you before, like I want to sell marijuana,
Yep.
but then I don't know if I would feel right selling it to kids because obviously, like if it's legal, kids are going to want to buy it.
Yeah, but it'll be an age restriction, like,
Yeah, 20, 21. Yeah, but
that-
they're still kids though.
yeah.
Like you still feel like they're kids, like especially if we're like 30,
Yeah.
31, 32, like these youngins trying to.
These kids born in the 2000s.
Yeah. So that's the one thing like Esther is saying, like would you feel okay selling it to like let's say a college student who just wants to
Get high?
get high? And I don't know.
Why? In what world would that be a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. It's just like, do I try to keep it solely as like a health?
I think you market it as such. I think that's, and you build a secondary peripheral business model around the health concept of it. But I think if somebody comes in who doesn't want the health point of view of marijuana, then you sell them weed and let them leave. Maybe you have a candy machine in the corner, Woo.
Yeah.
And by maybe, I mean have a candy machine in the corner, Woo.
Maybe like with chips and stuff inside. Like
Not for you, Woo. For the customers. Okay? The stuff you sell to your customers.
Well, I thought when you're high, they want to have like munchies and stuff, not candy.
Everyone's individual. I know a certain friend who ate like the entire Thanksgiving leftover dinner that he or she may have had. Sometimes it's just food. I've definitely, I used to buy bags of apples, like 3-pound bags of apples.
Yeah.
I have definitely gotten high and demolished an entire bag of apples. And been
Really?
like, what did I do? It's not about like wanting food. It's just about wanting like just that act. Like when smokers talk about the physical act of smoking,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that. You just need to be physically eating.
I guess. I mean, I mean, I'm in it to if I get into it, it's obviously to make money.
Yep.
It's not. I don't think there's anything wrong with marijuana either.
I agree.
It's just you just want people to use it responsibly. That's all.
Yeah.
Because it's a new thing. Like, alcohol. Everyone just knows to not drink and drive, right? That's just.
Yeah.
But people still do it.
Yep.
Now you introduce like another drug that messes with your head, but then people think they're invincible. Like I know people who say they perform better when they're high,
Yeah.
which I think is crap. I don't believe it. But then again,
Ooh, play me in basketball sober and play me in basketball when I'm high.
But
and I'll
okay,
show you the
again.
difference.
That's because I don't. Okay, that's maybe because I don't know what
You
they're
haven't found your
feeling.
dosage.
Yeah,
you haven't found the sweet spot.
That's probably why. I only know what I felt, and I felt like, I can't do anything. I can't do anything.
Well,
with
like
this.
if we're gonna do an analogy and compare that to like drinking, you've only gotten shit faced. You haven't gotten like a gentle buzz.
I've gotten.
In
drink
term,
at
like
home.
if we're
Okay,
comparing
okay,
your
I see.
smoking to what you would be
Oh, I
with
see. Like
drinking.
what I've experienced so far.
So you've only gotten really high, like stupid stoner high, where all you can do is sit and just be like lost in your thoughts. To me, that was younger Cody getting high. We would sit around and watch a movie, and then you would not remember the movie. Period. You'd be like, "Well, that was a sweet waste of my Friday night." Looking back on it with my wisdom, hindsight is 20/20. But now I found like a sweet spot, just like a single puff, and I relax, and my mind opens up, and the stress and anxiety slips away, and my ability to focus.
And you could still like drive and
Well, I mean, I wouldn't
Do
do
whatever.
that, but like,
yeah.
yeah. I'm telling you, play me in basketball, dead sober. Play me in basketball, a little bit high, and you will see I will be knocking down buckets. Buckets. Buckets.
Yeah, like it increases stamina, right? Like you don't feel the pain from
I don't even know if it's that, like, but like
exercise, right? That's what
running
that's one
is
reason.
long distance running is a lot easier when I'm high than if I'm sober. It's
Yeah,
just
it kind of
and I enjoy the act of moving, like the proprioception. Of
wasn't
like
that what
just
it is? Like
moving.
it's a pain reliever as well. So that's why
I
like
have no idea. All I know it as is getting high. Does it have anti-inflammatory properties?
yeah,
It's like a miracle drug, Woo.
yeah,
I've been eating all this ginger for nothing.
yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm obviously I'm gonna experiment with it. I'd like to know what it might not be for me at all, even the sweet spot,
Yeah.
but I'd like to still see
What that
what
spot
that
is.
is. It could be just one, just like you.
Yeah.
I'll never know until.
Until you get there. Let's do it, Woo. Let's have a high podcast.
All right.
420, 1.5. What's 1.5 times 420? Half of
No.
420 is 210. 630. See
Okay.
what I'm getting at, Woo?
Yes. I wouldn't mind. Once it's legal,
Once it's legal.
because I still have the liquid THC, but I don't know if I'm gonna give one to Ricky actually.
I was gonna say, let me try, and I will tell you what happens, like how it is for me.
Oh, do you have a thing that you can use?
No.
Just go grab one and see how it works. From what I've read, like the website that I bought it from, it's pretty potent for other people. Like experienced users say it's pretty potent.
Yeah, see, like that to me is a waste. I don't think you need to be getting shitty stoned if you're gonna actually enjoy it. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with a person who enjoys getting like really high, but it's just not for me. I feel like when I get really high, there's 3 hours where I'm barely functional, and then I go to sleep.
It's weird though. Like I can't describe how I felt. Like short-term memory was out the door.
Yeah,
Like that's why I was so afraid to drive, because I was afraid that as I'm driving I'd forget what I'm doing,
yeah,
like, and I'd forget where I'm going, or like why am I stopped at this light,
Yeah.
or why is that light green, or why is that light red, and I'd keep going.
you wouldn't
like
be functional.
So that's the only thing I was freaked out about.
When you experience something that's super shitty when you're high, and like you need to pull yourself,
Yeah.
you need your mental capacity, and it's not there, it's frustrating.
Yeah. And I've read other people like they describe it as being paranoid, and I think I was paranoid.
Yeah, I've definitely been paranoid.
Yeah. What was your paranoid like though?
exactly as you experience it, like this overwhelming sense of dread, this like fear of doing anything. You kind of like freeze up and tense up, and you're like, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But there's nothing there. But you feel like something's there.
But is that feeling you get from, like, I know there's different strands of marijuana you can take. Is it the same feeling if you get high off of like a different strand? Like,
Well, paranoia to me is not a byproduct of a specific strain. I may be just a ignorant user or an uninformed, uneducated marijuana smoker, and I couldn't tell you the difference between one strand or another, or the northern or southern hemisphere, whatever that means, the body high versus the mental high.
yeah.
To me, paranoia stems from a frame of mind that you're entering into your high with. If you are with good people, having a good time in a fun environment, there shouldn't be anything to kind of trigger that paranoia. But if you're in a position where you feel like you have to drive, but you don't think you
Yeah.
can drive, that's going to start triggering that mental state that puts you in a
Yeah.
paranoia. And it's just about mitigating and controlling your environment so that you don't have that.
Maybe I'm just gonna have to like set aside like 5 hours.
Yeah, like an
where I can just
afternoon, like
sit in a basement.
no, yo, nature's your friend, Woo. I know you hate bugs and like you're a pretty big prima donna about that, but like,
So we should go hiking or something, or
yeah, just be out in the sun, the gentle breeze, the rustling of the leaves.
yeah.
Just being out there with nature, connecting. Some good
Alright.
people you like, or even just, I'm telling you, Woo, play basketball when you're high. Oh, buckets. The sound of a swish that you shoot is so satisfying.
Maybe that's the secret then of like how we can get gains in the gym. Is just
Get high all the time.
2 hours. 2 hours of lifting weights will feel like nothing.
Honestly, lifting weights is the easy part. It's you're high and now you want to sculpt your body and you have an uncontrollable appetite. That's where the
Yeah.
issue comes in, right?
After the gym, you're gonna want to just
Yeah. After the gym, you already want to eat because your body is in recovery. You compound that with weed. You have to eat like 6 bags of apples.
That's why we should have, when we do it, we should have food already set aside,
Woo.
like a plan.
You think you're going to outsmart the munchies? It's not going to happen.
Or if we're gonna pick munchies, we go for like the smart choice, like apple chips or
Woo, that's fine. I can still eat 400,000 calories in apples.
I don't know,
Oh, it's apples. It's healthy. It's still like thousands of calories.
sugar. Yeah.
If we want to just get swole, like super thick.
Then who cares?
Yeah, exactly. It's all calories, baby. Get the macros in.
Everything you
Do a
eat
dirty bulk.
is for the purpose of gains.
Yeah. We start being gym bros. You want you in?
The high bros. I'm definitely open to trying it again.
Yeah.
I need supervision though, I think.
Supervision. You need guidance.
Yeah, I need someone who's kind of experienced.
And who isn't going to be all trippy with you?
Yeah.
Ricky.
Yeah. Screw you, Ricky. I swear I wanted to stay in like the time I got high and I was in his car.
Yeah.
I wanted to just stay in the car.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get out. And then he was like, "Oh, let's go to the Nike store." And we went to the Nike. Well, he went to go get gas, and
Yeah.
then I said, "Oh, can you buy me some water?"
Yeah.
So I started drinking the water. Oh, my mouth got so dry.
That's
That's
how
the
you know
one
you're
thing.
high.
The one thing I hated about was that feeling of the dry mouth.
Woo, gum is your friend.
And after that, like I remember he was driving us around, and then we went to the Nike store, and I was so freaked out about like human interaction,
Yeah.
talking with people. So as soon as I got in, I was like, "No, I'll just stay in the car." He's like, "Just come in, you'll be fine." And then he walked out, and I was like, "All right." So I started following him. Honestly, I don't remember what happened inside the store. I just remember walking in, then walking out.
Because nothing happened. Because nobody cares if you're high.
Yeah,
There's like 10 people in the world who might be like, oh,
He's
you're
high.
a bad boy.
Yeah. I'm sure no one knew. I was just kind of
Exactly.
freaked out on
Nobody
my own,
knows.
like it's a bad thing to do. But like I was just walking around. Ricky was just like, "Look at these shoes. Look at this. Look at this shirt. Look at this shoe."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool."
Nice shirt.
And then I don't remember like any.
Yeah.
And then he drove me back to my car. And then I sat in the back seat of my car for like another hour. And then by that time it was like we had lunch and it was like sunny outside. It was dark outside. So I
It was
like
night.
I had to walk around. I got out of the car. I walked around like the plaza there
Yep.
just to get fresh air, and then I was like, all right, I'm ready to go home. And then it was like 9:30, 10 p.m.
Oh, jeez.
and we met for lunch at like 1:30.
Yeah.
So like it affected my whole day. But it was, I'm sure now that I think back, it was the beer. If I
Yeah,
just
the compounding. Yeah, because beer hits you strong. I've seen it. Seen it happen in real life.
to me,
Yeah.
just the beer.
Yeah.
When?
I don't like mixing. I do my best to do one or another, and it's always my bad nights where I end up mixing.
Yeah, that was a bad choice. And plus, that day I was drinking like sours. Like Scott was like
Oh, yeah.
introducing me to like sour beers.
Yeah. Beer Town.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this tastes pretty good. Doesn't taste like a beer at all. It tastes like
Yeah, it's interesting.
tastes like a, not a candy, but it tastes like a, how do you describe it?
Well, woo.
Just a refreshing drink
Yep.
to have.
An
Just-
adult lemonade.
Yeah. Yeah, lemonade. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. It tasted just like that. You can drink a lot, not even knowing. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's what I found with the sours is you can keep drinking them and like not really know. Because with beer, you know it's beer. You taste beer, but this is just like a sour drink. You didn't even really taste the alcohol. You can't really taste the alcohol.
Taste the sour.
Yeah.
You got Bud Light going on
Bud
right
Light.
now.
I do. I like Bud Light.
I know.
I think that'll be my beer for the summer. The rest
summer
of the
beer.
Summer. Yeah.
Isn't summer technically over?
Is it over? Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Kids are back in school.
The summer
Woo.
end. Ah, poor kids.
Whatever. School's fun.
Really? Actually, I don't remember dreading going back to school.
I was always like in the camp of I'm excited
Why?
because all my sports teams happened during the school year. All my friends were there every day. It gave my life some sort of structure.
No, so you weren't like dreading that it was like Labor Day weekend.
No, I
It's gonna
never.
be school.
I don't think I ever had that feeling.
I don't think I ever did. Actually, the first time I did was when I moved to Burlington.
Yeah.
Actually, I think yeah.
I guess yeah, because then you
Actually,
don't
yeah.
have anyone you know going to school.
Before that, like I moved like from Lindsay. Like I think I enjoyed going to school because school was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Like you just don't really care about your grades too much. I was a pretty bad student. Like
Really?
back then when they used to grade you with like V's and G's and
Oh yeah.
like very good or good
E's.
or satisfactory
excellent.
or
Yeah, I remember that.
needs improvement was like an N. I got
Yeah.
N's across the board.
You were just a
Needs
rebel kid.
improvement. Yeah. Oh, well, not rebel. I was just quiet, but like I didn't really do homework, and I was quiet in the back. So teachers would be like, "He has poor listening, poor."
Poor everything.
Yeah.
Needs to improve it all.
And I would just get N's and S's. But my dad was pretty fair. Like he was like, if you just improve to like from an N to an S, you're off the hook.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons like I didn't really fear school because I
Yeah.
just knew that I had to show improvement. But also, my parents prepared me pretty well. Like I was in Kumon
Yeah.
and all those math like after school things.
I didn't
So like
know that.
all the important subjects were so easy to me,
yeah.
except for like English, geography, and all those things. I would fail those.
Since when is geography important?
I know, but I think that's one of the reasons I wasn't stressed about school. Like I just went to school because I saw my friends
Yeah.
and then hung out with them. When I moved to Burlington, I was so sad. As I was just starting to get popular in Lindsay.
Popular?
Yeah, I was a loser up until I started playing basketball. I didn't
Yeah?
really have a lot of friends. Basketball is what brought me some of my
You climb the social ladder one
coolness.
bounce at a time.
Yeah. So I started playing with, like, I remember in school it's really mean. You get this popular group,
Yep.
and there's this group that the popular group kind of makes fun of,
Yep.
and they got girls in this popular group that don't even talk to these, quote loser kids in school, and I was part of the loser group until I started playing basketball, because then I could start playing with the cool kids, and I got pretty good.
Yep.
So then they would want to play with me more, and all these stupid girls that thought they were cool started talking to me
Yep.
more, and I still had that lingering like, you were so mean to me before I was
Yeah.
friends with these guys. So basketball is what kind of started to get me popular, Lindsay, and then I started to get popular, and then I moved to Burlington. So it was a big bummer. I was super sad.
I'm sorry to hear that, Woo, but I think it all turned out in the end.
Yeah, because actually, I kept playing basketball, and then
Yeah.
that's how I made pretty much all my friends in Burlington
Yeah.
and hung out with the good group. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's like Burlington's a pretty good city, or the school that I went to, but like Lindsay, like a small town, like there's so many groups Like there's like a mean group and like
Oh, it was more cliquey.
yeah,
I
there's
could
so
see
many cliques. There's so many like bad names that they would call people. I don't know if it's just a town thing, but like when I moved to Burlington, like everyone was super nice. There was no like
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah,
The small town thought process.
I guess
There aren't that many people in your town to begin with, so you have to divide and conquer.
Yeah, so Burlington, I would say the first week of school was kind of bad because I didn't really hang out with anybody. But then after that, like, we had recess.
Yeah.
And that's where you would kind of meet people and play sports. So I played basketball with, like,
Nice.
my current group of friends that I'm still pretty much friends with. Scott and Ricky.
Have I ever told you the story about how I started playing basketball
No.
at school? So, to back it up, my Aunt Carol was a professional basketball player, so at a very young age, I was playing basketball like grade 2 or grade 3, but I didn't, like I played one summer camp, and then that was basically it until grade 8 basketball when we had our basketball unit. And I was kind of similar to you in that I wasn't a popular kid. Wouldn't have called myself a loser, but I wasn't super popular. But back in like primary school, I was taller than everyone. Like I had my growth spurt first compared to everyone else. So when it came to basketball, I just got all the rebounds. Nobody could win without me because I got all the rebounds. Not some of. Literally, if there was a rebound to get, I was
All
getting
the
it.
rebounds.
And everyone was like, I want Cody on my team. And that's how I got into basketball. Not because I was particularly good at any other facet of the game. I can just get boards. People were like,
You're the
man, that's
hustler."
valuable.
Everyone's favorite somehow from the hustle.
Yeah, people respect the hustle. Then I started working on my handles. And then it all came to fruition. Except for never making a basketball team.
That's okay.
Nothing like getting cut 3 years in a row, Woo. It's good.
Well, I'll tell you though, there's nothing worse than not playing.
That's true. I thought back to my football career in high school where I played
Yeah, you
every
played.
possession of every game that I ever played in. And I enjoyed it, but I couldn't imagine like putting all that time and dedication into a sport only to not play ever.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was actually, I hated not playing a lot, but I guess the people that I was playing with made it a little bit better.
Yeah, that's true.
Like going
to
to
hang out
going
with
to
the
practice
boys.
was fun because, you know, you're with your friends pretty much still.
Oh yeah.
And like during the games, like, you know, you're cheering for your friends. They're
Yeah.
on the court. So that's one reason I guess I kind of enjoyed it. Actually, the most thing I hated about high school basketball was the coach. Not
Not Joey.
Barrett. No, he was good. It was Malcolm. I don't know if anyone remembers him, but
Yeah.
I tell
was
you,
not good.
yeah, he just wasn't good at all. Like
Would you go so far to say he was bad?
he was terrible.
Yeah.
He was the reason I think he just doesn't know how to coach. He didn't know how to coach at all. Like we had the same team. I told you
Yep.
in grade like 11, we had the same team that went undefeated with Barrett and went to the finals. And then the next year when Barrett left, Malcolm took over as coach, and we had pretty much everyone return to
Yeah.
the basketball team. We pretty much lost every game. But how does that happen? Like you don't.
only difference
you
is the
don't have a
coach.
coach that keeps anyone accountable. Doesn't reward his players for.
Hard work.
Yeah, like I remember. This is like I literally because of him I wanted to quit basketball
Yep.
because I tell you like one game I was playing, I hustled so hard to play. And when I got into the game, I hustled so hard, and I thought, okay, I played well, like in the time I was in the game. Next game, I don't get played at all.
DNP.
Yeah, and I'm like, what am I trying for?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, are you even watching? Like, do you know how much it hurts to like put that effort in and not get noticed just because he pretty much labels players as, okay, these are our bench players. These are they're gonna sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Whereas Barrett was like in more of like the development mindset,
Yeah. Have a system
and
you can plug and play.
and he stuck by it.
Yep.
Like if the team was up, he was going to put in people who weren't getting any time,
Yep.
or if there was a big lead, he would get people in who hasn't played to play with like the starting group,
Yep.
so they would get a feel of how to play with the starting
Yep.
five. And like Malcolm was just complete opposite. He's like, he's gonna ride or die with like just his starting five.
Yeah.
They would be down. We would be down by like 30, and he'd be like, "No, we still got a chance to win this." With 2 minutes left in the game, he's like, "Starting five is still on the floor." I'm like, "What the?"
Yeah, not
This
only are
is-
you not playing, but the starters are now starting to feel a bit humiliated.
So that like really pissed me off, and really like I questioned like just quitting basketball altogether. It wasn't fun. At that point, I'm like, "What the hell am I playing for?"
Yeah.
And I told him actually. I told him I didn't like him.
Yep.
Like I thought it was well known that I didn't like him, so I went up to him like, "If I don't know if you've heard any rumors, but about me not liking you." He's like, "No, I haven't heard anything at all." And I'm like, "Oh,
Oh.
I don't. Well, I haven't liked you for a long time, and I'm actually thinking about quitting the basketball team." And he's like, "Oh no, we should talk about this." And then he convinced me not to quit.
Should have quit and joined me on the swim team, Woo. Your natural hairless body would have been a competitive advantage.
I think swimming. If I think back, swimming would have been more fun than basketball.
Yo, swimming was, as the kids say these days, swimming was lit. Mr. Lawrence, he allowed you to play music. There was a phenomenal camaraderie. It was good times. I had a lot of fun memories back to swimming.
And plus, like, you got to swim at like the meets, right?
Oh yeah, everyone gets to swim. Swimming is very much like the participation awards. Everyone gets to swim. But I did make it to the finals for like the Golden Horseshoe area for the 200 meters, which was impressive considering I was like an offensive lineman and these were all very skinny swimmers. And I finished 7th out of 8th, which to me was like a massive win. I cut 14 seconds off my 200 meter best. Yeah, I was happy with
That's
that.
impressive.
Yeah. I was going to say, you could have played volleyball and
Yeah.
badminton and...
I was just so stuck on playing one sport. I'm like, no, I'm a basketball guy. I'm going to play basketball.
put
And-
limitations.
Yeah, I did that a lot in high school. Like, I'm going to study
Look
this.
at you now, spreading your wings.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter anymore, but
It doesn't matter to you, but this is wisdom you can hand down to your sons.
is there anything you wish you could have done in school, maybe?
Could have done?
Differently?
I would have liked to play baseball. I would have liked to play rugby, if we're talking about sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, most importantly, I would have been more confident with myself and, like, loved myself.
Actually, you wouldn't have been able to tell that you didn't love yourself. Pretty confident guy, and from what I remember, you're pretty.
But that it was like this duality. I was very confident in a lot of things, but not confident with myself.
You know, one thing people probably don't know about me is I was not confident at all in high school. Well, like, I was pretty quiet. Like, I'm sure
Yeah.
everyone knew that I was a quiet guy. But like, the one thing that I struggle with, like, and it, no one probably knows. Probably you don't even know this. Like, I struggled with so bad in high school was acne.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, see, you like, other people might not care about it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just the thing that kids go through. But like, I hated my skin.
Yeah?
In high school, and it was so much to the point where if people would ask me to go out, I wouldn't want to go out. Like
Like friends?
yeah, even friends. Like, you know that I didn't go out a lot.
Yeah.
And,
you would
like,
give us
I
very
would-
interesting responses.
Yeah, and I wouldn't go out to even like parties that there were.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Really? I didn't know this.
One of the so you know this now.
Self-conscious about-
Self-conscious about like the way that my skin looked, or if I was breaking out like pretty bad, like on like a Thursday or Friday,
Yeah.
and like I was invited to a lot of stuff, like
Yeah.
to go out.
We liked
and
you.
I was known to like project going out.
Yeah.
And a big part of that was like, it wasn't like because I wasn't allowed to. Like, my parents gave me a lot of freedom to
Yeah.
go out. Like, a lot of it had to do with acne.
I have a very strong memory of you, me, and Scott were supposed to hang out, and then you bailed at the last minute because you said you had to wait for a bathtub delivery.
The bathtub delivery.
Yeah, you're like, my dad's getting a bathtub. And
No. It was a
somebody,
desk.
somebody needs to be here for this bathtub.
No. I
Woo.
think it was a
Woo.
desk.
It was a bathtub.
No.
Because we were like, are you renovating your bathroom? Like, you haven't talked about renovating your bathroom at all. You're like, guys, I just have to just wait for this bathtub. I can't come out today.
It could have been, maybe. If I think back, it might have been like a breakout that
Yeah?
I was dealing with. And that's like one of the... If I could change one thing, it would be like not care about
Yeah,
that so
to
much.
have an indifference about something like that.
Because, like, really, you grow up and it goes away.
Yeah.
And you don't care about it anymore. And then you just regret not doing...
Spending so much of your mental capacity on
Yeah.
worrying.
So that's what, like, since it's like back to school season,
Yeah.
if we can give any tips since we've been through school, I would say to not care about, be so self-conscious about.
I heard it phrased as you need to realize that other people think about you way less than you think they are thinking about you.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. It's just you just have to, like, you're not that important.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a, you don't want to think of it that way, but that's true. Like, no one's thinking about me breaking out as much as I am.
Yep.
They just
Absolutely.
would- they probably
not
would-
even a minutia of a fraction.
Yeah, so that was a big part of, like, my high school. I wish, like, I just didn't care about so much.
Opening my eyes, Woo.
Yeah.
That was not an Asian thing.
You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There was a lot of, like, I remember, like, I can...
And like I'm trying to remember, like I don't ever once remember having a thought been like, wow, Woo's got acne.
Yeah, it was... The thing is, like...
Was it early in high school or throughout the whole?
Throughout high school, yeah. It was,
I'm gonna check my yearbooks. Woo.
Yeah, no, you can't really see them in the yearbooks, but, like, I was pretty self-conscious about it. And I would, like, try to buy products, like, how am
Yeah.
I going to get rid of this? So I was on Proactive.
Yep.
I went to the doctor a few times to say, like,
Yep.
can you give me something? And then they would recommend pills, which I
Yep.
didn't like. Even at that time, I didn't like taking pills, so
Yeah.
I didn't take that stuff either, even though they said it would clear my skin. So I was like, no, there's got to be another way. Like, so I used creams. I was like a frequent Shoppers Drug Mart
Goer.
skin clear aisle,
Huh.
and I would be like, I would be like, when I walk in those aisles, I'd be like, damn, someone's in this aisle. Like, I don't want to walk through this aisle. Like,
Yeah.
that was me in high school.
You're very much in your own head.
Yeah. So now you know. Now you know why I wasn't out in
Well,
high
this is
school.
good. Like 20 years later.
Yeah.
We're approaching 20 years.
15 years.
2001.
Oh yeah. Damn, we're. Why did I think it was
Damn.
15? Yeah, we're getting old.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's one. If I could tell myself, the younger Woo, don't care about your skin so much, and also don't care about what school you're gonna go to after you're done high school.
Oh yeah.
That's friggin'.
If I could go back and tell myself something, it'd have been like, don't go to school. Go
Yeah.
get into a trade.
If I could go back, I would have gone to college.
Yep.
100% would have gone to college. There's nothing wrong with college, but there's this negative thought about,
Yeah, the stigma.
if you go to college, you're dumb.
Yeah, man. Well, I think just the way they structure the hierarchy, like you choose university courses or you choose college level courses.
Which, yeah, they should. That's dumb to begin with. They should just make it one course.
Oh yeah.
And if you're not because the judgment starts from high school.
Oh, yeah.
You say you're taking a college course, be like, oh, you don't want to go to university?
And you start streaming in grade 9 to see if you whether or not you're college level or your university
Yeah.
level. And just because you can do a level of academic doesn't mean it's necessarily right for you as a personality. Your intelligence is not the only characteristic as a person that you are trying to vet out as a student. Ridiculous.
I agree. I wish I even took college courses in high school. That would have probably made me a lot happier as a student.
I have a distinct memory of when we had to choose our math for grade 11 that I wanted to take like workplace math.
Yeah.
Because they taught you how to do accounting, how to do your own books, how to file for your taxes. And I was like, these are super important life skills. I want to take this. But when I told the career counselor, like when I handed in my application, she's like, well, you have a 90 in math. Why aren't you going to university level? And then she basically guilted me out of going into...
Wow. See, that's bad too.
Yeah, that was
Look at a
ridiculous.
school counselor. They think they're doing it in your best interest. Or
I
they
will
think,
say...
or they might think you're not giving yourself as much credit as you should.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
will give them credit though. When I found out that you didn't need to pursue science classes past grade 10, and that you could get all of your science classes through technology courses, through like woodshop or metal shop, I was really happy to take all those courses in high school. And that, you know, even it's funny, since high school, I've taught myself a lot of biology and chemistry through my interest in the human body and kinesiology. So there's lots of stuff that should have learned, quote unquote, in high school that I ended up learning anyways on my own time. And then I got all this really cool experience in wood shop and metal shop and welding and car repair.
Honestly, yeah. Chemistry is useless unless you're going to go into it.
Yeah, if you were,
Unless you're
I think
going
any of
into-
those academics are like relatively useless unless you're going into that field as a profession.
Yeah. Because, like, you don't really need to know how these bonds connect to each other.
Nope.
Or how these...
You need to
Elements.
understand the overarching principles, I think, if you want to apply them
Yeah.
to a day-to-day life. But unless you are creating chemicals, then there's no need to know that. This was my beef in university with calculus, in that we had to spend so much time learning how to do calculus. When we have computers that can do it accurate in a fraction of the time, I shouldn't have to spend my time learning how to do the math, because a computer will do the math in real life. I should be spending my time understanding what the information inputs and outputs mean and how I can apply that knowledge to affect a business. I think the fact that they were teaching you how to do the math was ridiculous. And none of my teachers saw it that way. They were like, no, you need to know this. I'm like, why? When I'm out there, if I'm in the field of finance, at what point am I walking through calculus derivatives with my clients? I'm like, well, according to the math, let's pull the sheet out. Let's go through this calculus problem right now.
Yeah.
Let's derive this.
You know where that comes helpful, though? Like, is if you're developing a program. Like, if you're at work and that's your role.
But that's
to
a computer
develop.
programmer's. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
If that's what you want to go. Yeah, that's the only reason, yeah. Why it
if
would
that's
be-
how you, if that, right, just like the chemist, if you are in the field of chemistry and you're developing new chemicals, then yeah, you should know that knowledge. But if you were trying to do anything else, you should just understand the principles and see the big picture. Drives me crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, going back to what we were saying, then, I would definitely think of my courses a little bit more and not put so much weight on university. I think I had a miserable... I'm not even using anything I studied anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
I just got in a bunch of debt. Finally paid it off last year.
Congratulations.
But, yeah, university was just... The one good thing about university is I found my wife there.
Yeah.
That's... Shout out my wife.
She was the redeeming quality.
Yeah. But other than that, I didn't enjoy it at all. It's just the anxiety that comes with... I think that's why I associate Labor Day and going back to school had nothing to do with grade 1s to 12. It started... My anxiety for back to school started in university.
Yeah, I can see that.
Each year I was like, damn it, another friggin' school year.
Spend all this money on stuff that
Yeah.
drains my soul.
See, that's the only negative thing I have about back to school is just going back to university. I get an anxiety during this time for no reason at all. I don't even have to go back to school.
Why? Like, what?
It just comes, like, you just see it. You, like, walk in, like, Walmart and all the stuff is back to school and you're like, I remember the time when I was in university or something.
Have you ever thought about doing those online courses, the free ones?
Yeah, I still do some.
Yeah?
Yeah, I still do, like, YouTube has a lot of cool stuff that you can learn from, but I was in that, I purchased one, that Jump Cut
the
Academy.
Jump Cut.
So that was kind of like online learning that you can do.
You know what I want to do? The masterclass one. Have you seen that? There's a Steph Curry shooting one.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, we should split on that.
I already got a good shot, though, Cody.
Ooh, I've seen that shot.
I'm money.
You're money?
give me 2
Well, what
days.
currency are you talking? Like lira? Are you talking yen?
No.
Not all money is made the same, Woo. I don't know. I think it's interesting. And then in that website, there's like, for me, there's a couple other chefs that I'd like to check out. There's a couple of writers I'd like to check out. Some cool stuff.
So yeah, this is
All
fun.
right. It's been a good one, Woo.
It's been good, Cody. It's been real.
Very real.
We'll wrap this one up,
Yeah.
and I guess next week just think about other fun topics to talk about. All right. It's been
Thanks
a
for
good-
listening, everyone.
Thanks
We'll
for
talk with you
listening.
next week.